Hello there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. Welcome back to the part 2 of the Alpha Fragrance House video. So in this particular video today, I'm going to talk to you about 3 more fragrances from this particular house, because this house kind of specializes in gourmand fragrances, and the last video that I put out for the first 3 fragrances was very well received. So I'm doing a part 2, and you can also expect a part 3 as well. That will probably happen after maybe about 3 to 4 weeks time. So in this particular video today, we are going to talk to you about 3 fragrances from their house, and they are pretty interesting because their names are so, and the note profile is such that it kind of keeps calling you. So the first one is we are going to talk to you about is called Bay-Leez. So this is one of them. Then we have diced pineapples and vodka. We're going to talk about this as well. And then the last fragrance that we're going to talk to you about is called orange mojito. So stay tuned for all of these and figure out how they smell, and these are going to be fantastic additions for your winter collection of fragrances, especially if you like gourmand fragrances that have a little bit of a twist, right? So stay tuned till the very end of the video. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this intro. Alright, so welcome back. So the first fragrance that we are going to talk to you about is called Bay-Leez. It kind of looks like this. It's a dark brown juice, and the bottle this time that he has used or gone for are basically bottles that look like Louis Vuitton bottles. So they kind of look pretty cute. And let's do a spray of this particular fragrance. Now, even before I smell this particular fragrance or describe the fragrance to you, and I'll tell you what my daughter thought about it. The moment I had this on, she comes to me and she says, "Dada, what have you put on? It smells like chocolate." Okay, so the first glimpse is that, so it kind of smells like chocolate, but it smells a lot more deeper. So the fragrance is called Bay-Leez, which is taken inspiration from Irish liquor called Bay-Leez. It's a coffee liquor. Okay, so basically there are boozes that are used by people as desserts. So one of the most popular fragrances, popular booze that people like to have after dinner is Bay-Leez Irish cream coffee, because it kind of smells very nice, it tastes very subtle, and the alcohol content is generally lower, so it is absolutely perfect for after dinner food, right? After dinner drinks, right? For people who love to have a boozy effect with their dessert, right? Now, so this particular fragrance has got nuances of that, right? So what does it have? It's got a lot of vanilla, it's got a lot of creamy like texture, so there's a lot of cream that you use in cakes, that kind of a vibe. You do get a deep layer of coffee kind of an element, because like I said, Bay-Leez has got Irish coffee, so it's got a coffee kind of a dry down, and then of course you get a lot of chocolatey type of a vibe. Now the chocolate type of a vibe is not the milk chocolate that we are mostly associating with. It is more of a dark chocolate type of a vibe. Okay, so that is the first thing that you get. The moment you put this on, it kind of hits you right on your face with that chocolate and vanilla vibe. Now, after about 20-30 minutes time, that chocolate vibe starts to soften up a bit, and then you start getting more and more of that vanilla along with a little bit of that coffee, caramel type of a vibe that continues to be there in the particular fragrance. Now, if you're thinking this is going to be one of those boozy fragrances, this is not the case, because Bay-Leez coffee liquor is not actually very high in booze, as I said earlier. So you don't get that. You get more of a very comforting type of a vanilla, coffee, creamy kind of a dry down that is absolutely beautiful. Now this is a soft kind of a scent, so you kind of understand with the number of sprays that you do, it kind of creates a bubble around you where it smells absolutely beautiful. It smells very comforting, very nice, and then it starts to go into more into that linear note of vanilla along with a slight hint of coffee. You kind of also sense a little bit of those woody vibes as well, but it's mostly lightly sweet. Now, in terms of the scent profile, it's not a very sweet type of a fragrance, because vanilla, as you know, or if you think about coffee, or if you think about chocolate as any of those notes, they're not actually very sweet notes as such, but they have light hints of sweetness in them, and that's exactly the type of a note on this as well. It's not very sweet, it's just borderline mildly sweet, which is absolutely beautiful for cold temperatures, for romantic evenings, for close encounters, for a bubble, for a small family gathering. You will be wearing something totally different and something which is very unique and beautiful to try. And if you kind of like a very coffee-like, not exactly coffee, more of a vanilla with a slight hint of coffee type of a vibe, but more on the lines of Bay-Leez Irish cream, then definitely you got to check out Bay-Leez. This is pretty good. So the performance of this particular fragrance, like I said, because it is soft in nature, you don't get a lot of projection. You get about 1.5 to 2 feet of bubble as such, but it lasts on your skin for about 4.5 to 5 hours easy. A little more than that as well. It can even go up to 6-7 hours depending if you're indoors most of the time. So on indoors AC environment, that kind of a place, this particular fragrance works very well because it keeps leaving that trail of that vanilla vibe all throughout. So this is Bay-Leez. Next, let's talk about diced pineapples and vodka. Now, this is a pretty unique combination, so to say, because this has got certain things which are slightly different. Now, when you put on this particular fragrance, what you kind of actually get is you get a vibe of a caramel toffee type of a vibe that's blended with a lot of juicy pineapple. Okay, that's the first thing that you get. So you get a very different type of an opening, which is pretty intense type of an opening, I can say, because the caramel buttery toffee type of a vibe when blended with pineapple is a very, very different type of a combination. So it smells slightly more softer. It smells not sweet at all, but then it's got that toffee type of a vibe that you kind of get along with a little bit of a pineapple vibe. Now, what happens is after the first 15-20 minutes time, the buttery toffee part of it starts to go down and you start getting a good amount of pineapple vibe as such. And then after a certain amount of time, you also find a little bit of a sharp type of a boozy vibe or alcohol vibe, which is basically coming from the vodka that's there on this particular fragrance. This is not exactly a gourmand type of a fragrance, but I would say that this is a fragrance that sits very borderline between a gourmand and a type of a boozy type of a fragrance, because everything is very balanced here. Nothing is very dominant. So the pineapple note is not very dominant. Nor the vodka note is very dominant. It sits very subtly. It kind of feels like a cold blanket that you have on, and along with that, you're able to smell some fruity tones, some boozy tones, that kind of a vibe that you get. Now again, this is also a soft fragrance, but this also has got good hints of vanilla as well, because as you can make out from the juice, it does look like that there is a lot of vanilla vibe that you kind of get as well. Overall, this particular fragrance, the diced pineapple and vodka, this is something that you will need a little getting used to. So I would definitely encourage you to try a sample for this first before you get a whole 30 ml as such. The performance is similar. Again, you get a 5 to 6 hour on your skin and apparel. A soft projection lingers all throughout. A pretty unique fragrance, okay, unique and different at the same time. So like I said, I would highly recommend you to try a sample before you do a blind buy of this particular fragrance. Now, the killer fragrance in this three of them, I was thinking would be the Bay-Leez for me, because I was very looking forward for that particular scent type. But actually what really surprised me was this, the one that's called Orange Mojito. And look at the juice color, very orange-y as such. And it kind of smells that way too. Now, this is surprisingly a very, very unique composition. And I think Alpha Fragrances, Lakshya has done a fabulous job on this one, because this is not exactly a gourmand fragrance. I would say this is something that you can easily wear on a summer evening, okay, or on a holiday, anywhere where you're going with a lot of sun and you want to have a vacation type of a vibe. You can easily pull this off, because this is got a beautiful amount of orange, and that orange is very juicy type of an orange. So very fresh, uplifting type of a element that you kind of get. It's got subtle hints of rum as well. So there's a little bit of a boozy element that you kind of get on this particular fragrance, and a lot of lime as well. So there's a bit of orange and a little bit of bittersweet element of lime. So orange as such, it has got a freshness, it's got a zestiness, it's got a juiciness, but at the same time, lime will bring out a more of a bittersweet element, more of a tart element, and something that cuts across the air. Now, along with this, you have a vodka or mojito kind of an effect as well. The mojito is a liquor booze again in this. So mojito is pineapple-y, is basically minty. It's got a vodka note to it. It's got a little bit of a citrus element to it. Although I don't smell a lot of mint element on it, but it does have a very sharp, beautiful type of a juicy kind of an opening. And this is something that I absolutely enjoyed wearing. Every time you wear, it's very refreshingly beautiful. It is very different to your typical fresh fragrances that you wear, where there's a lot of citrus element, there's a lot of aquatic vibe, all that, right? So this isn't the case. Here you get a juicy pineapple with a subtle hints of lemon, and then a little bit of a boozy vibe of that rum, and a little bit of that mojito, and of course a little bit of musk as well. So you get a little bit of the musk that lingers across as such. Now this does project a little better than the Bay-Leez and of course Dice Vodka for me. So this will easily do about 2 to 2.5 feet as such. But overall, all of them are soft scents in my opinion. This is perfect for a party. This is perfect for a cocktail party. This is perfect for some small gatherings. Like I said, a beach wear, something in the evening that you want to wear, where you want to be in the winter season or in the slight, temperatures of a beach, but with the lower temperatures, and you want to have something refreshing, but at the same time that smells summery, that smells a beach type of a holiday type of a vibe, then this is perfect for you to try. And this smells very nice, especially the top note where you have the juicy orange as such is very good, and the orange kind of slowers down a little as the time goes. Overall, this is a linear fragrance, and at the end of it you get a very musky orange citrusy element as such on the whole. Now this will do easily about 6-7 hours on your skin again. Again, a little softer on the projection, but overall scent profile is fantastic. So from the second set, I have 2 picks which are absolutely beautiful that I enjoyed. The most enjoyed one definitely has to be the Virgin Mojito. The orange Mojito is absolutely beautiful. Second comes the Bay-Leez because of the chocolatey vibe. Like I said, you will have to tread very carefully when you're trying to wear diced pineapple and vodka, because the scent profile is very different and something that you have to get used to. Overall, yes, this is something that I'm very interested in. And the next set of fragrances, I think there's going to be a baklava, on one of those scent profiles. I'm very curious to know about them, and will definitely try those and let you know how I feel about this particular fragrance. So yes, you can definitely try these and experience a different type of a gourmand experience, a different type of a holiday beach kind of a vibe in your fragrances, and something that you can definitely explore. So I will leave the number for Lakshya Pandey of Alpha Fragrances. You can get in touch with him for your sample set and your cost of the bottles. I think they're about 9.99 rupees. I think for 50 ml or 30 ml, you can get in touch with him and they will be more than happy to help you out with it, right? So I will see you on another video. Until another time, take care. Bye bye.